I'm Jenny-Jaymes and my sidekick, Christian Cano, partner in crime, is coming up next.
Hey everyone, I'm Jim's sidekick. Welcome to Two Queers in a Truck. Hi y'all.
See you soon. Good morning, everybody. It is September 25th already.
Wow.
I mean, we're a ways into the month. I mean, we're
crazy.
Last show of September. I mean, so
that's right.
For y'all keeping track at home, I mean, it's wild. It's it's so wild because this year, thankfully, I mean, running theme. Has gone by very fast, which I'm good with in many ways. In other ways, I'm not. But truthfully, as crazy as it's been lately, in my opinion, it could have been a whole lot worse. Like it really could have been. And I feel like Trump is at the beginning of giving up. And you see him not campaigning as much. Mm-hmm. In fact, a lot of Republicans have noticed that, and they've sent J.D. Vance, the younger part of the ticket out a lot more. And he doesn't have the same vigor and fire. Like
crowds.
Definitely crowd size has shrunk. Cold water shrinkage. It was cold water. Yeah, they're recording. I mean, so Obama line.
Yeah.
My gosh, that's turned into all kinds of memes and videos. It's just delicious. It reminds us of how great Obama really was.
That's why I hate him.
Oh yeah, because he's brilliant and Trump's not.
Mm-hmm.
Trump's like the crap left over. That they squished into a ball and made him a president, and but he just. This whole Harris campaign reminds me so much, not because of the racial makeup of Harris, but the hope that Obama generated. Because if we remember back to 2008, how far we were in the throes of a two-front war. We were in the Great Recession. We didn't know how many banks were going to survive. We didn't know how many car companies were going to survive. GM was closing divisions left and right. There was rampant unemployment. There was houses going back to banks all over the Midwest and California. I lived in the Midwest during the Great Recession, and I saw entire developments go belly up, mid-development. Like I remember there was this one 200-home development that was all stopped in the middle of developments. It looked like some sort of rapture. But, by the way, I jumped right into the show, but it is Two Queers in a Truck time. I'll call it a birthday hangover, even though I don't drink.
That's right. Happy birthday!
I did have an inordinate amount of chocolate cake last night, and tacos because it was Taco Tuesdays. My roomie took me out for my birthday, and I was joined with his boyfriend and my good friend Laurel, and we went out to Southbound, our favorite place. Here in Charlotte, North Carolina. So we did the taco special, and so I was hopped up on Cali Mex and chocolate cake and birthday vibes, and I turned 35 again, of course. And for y'all that listen,
you look marvelous.
I look marvelous. It's better to look good than to feel good, as Fernando used to say.
That's right.
And Billy Crystal's, but one of my favorite Saturday Night Billy Crystal characters was Fernando. Like
that's dating you. You can't be 35.
Well, I watched it on reruns at Nick at Night.
Oh, that's what it was. Okay, yes.
The reruns are forever.
That's
Yeah,
right.
because I couldn't have seen it in person at
Exactly.
all, like on the fresh
That's
deal.
right.
But I'm a TV historian. Wink, wink, wink.
That's right.
Probably I'm actually probably closer to 1,500 years old than 35. But but it just this era of Trump that you can feel is coming to the close, but you feel this new hope with Harris, this electricity, this that we felt in 2008 with Obama, and the audacity of hope, and just the joyfulness and enthusiasm of Waltz and Harris, and just the sweetness, the humanity that is returned to presidential politics. And that will scare a dictator, an authoritarian wannabe more than anything. They do not want hope. They want apathy. They want regret. They want sadness. They want fear. And the one thing they can't fight is hope. And that's the one thing we need to give everybody is we need to remind people two things. Don't look the other way. Don't repeat 2016. Don't pick the coward's way. It's easy to get registered. It's easy to vote. There is no fucking excuse. Most states give you 3 weeks of early voting in October, which is I'm going to plug this again. You still got time to get registered in every state in the union. You still have time. If you are not registered, it's okay. But get down to your board of elections or register online, but get flipping registered so you have the option to vote and exercise your right to vote. I don't care how you vote, but fucking vote, y'all. Participate. Do not let the minority of crazy trailer trash run this fucking country like they did in 2016. You just don't do it. Not gonna do it. I'll do a little George.
Not gonna do it.
Not gonna do it. 1,000 points a lot. Go down and get registered. The ghost of George H. Herbert Walker Bush says, "Go out."
That's right.
And just do it, guys. Like, don't be afraid to do it. It's free. It's easy. Early voting is the ticket. And you just depending on where you live, it's so flipping easy. They just I can't say it enough because I read an article about a woman in Georgia that has passed away. She got turned away from emergency room. She was a high risk pregnancy, and under the new really strict Georgia law, they have to be crashing before they can intercede medically for a pregnant woman, for a pregnant person. And I mean, crashing meaning beginning the process of dying. Okay, being unalived by Republicans. They couldn't do the DNC in time, and this young mother Vice President Harris did a statement on this. This young mother should be alive, raising her son, pursuing her dream of attending nursing school. It's longer, but I'm not going to read the whole thing.
Yeah.
But a 28-year-old woman got unalived by Republican fuckery because women in Georgia, for some reason, keep voting for Republicans. Republicans killed that woman, but every woman in that state, 52% of the population, is an accessory to that woman's death. Everybody that voted for a Republican official, everybody voted for, shit ass Brian Kemp again. And y'all keep doing this, especially in the southern states and the goat herder states like Montana. Y'all keep voting for this shit. And she's not the only one to get unalived by these new abortion restrictions. These kill people. This is why Roe versus Wade happened in the 1970s. It's because It was killing women. Y'all, don't be dumb fucks. Every woman and every queer, they're taking away our body autonomy. And if you don't have body autonomy, you don't own your own body. What the fuck do you own? We fought a civil war over body autonomy. I know y'all probably slept through history class because it's boring as fuck. But we're going through history right now. And if we don't stand up for each other, if we don't love thy neighbor, don't be surprised when they're hauling you off to a camp. There's a lot of steps on the way to authoritarianism. And as joyous as Harris is, this is our fucking reality right now. And you got two choices on that ballot this fall. One with an R next to it, and one with a D. You better pick the fucking D. You better pull, I don't care what your family's done, I don't care what your tradition is, I don't care if you're physically conservative. 2 years ago, I was speaking at a panel on the International Women's Day on March 8, 2022, and it was before the Dobbs decision. It was making its way through the courts. We knew it was going to make it to the Supreme Court. We pretty much knew Dobbs was going to kill Roe. We were seeing this train wreck play out in real time. And I remember speaking about Dobbs. And I said, this fall, y'all better vote these fucking midterms. You better grab your friends' dogs, their fucking kitty cats. Except for in Springfield, Ohio, they might eat them. But you get out and you participate in this and you make sure up and down the ballot, from the lowest office to the highest office, every judge, everything that you can vote for, you better vote that D. But you better vote. You better participate. This is your shit on the line. This isn't some nebulous country. We're not talking about the Ukraine, Gaza, or anything like this. We can't help Gaza if we can't help ourselves first. And for some reason, women still didn't really turn out for midterms in 2022, which is beyond me. Because I guess we have to see it and suffer through it. But now all of a sudden, last year and the year before, 60, 70,000 babies were born because of sexual assaults in the United States because of the Dobbs decision, and almost 30,000 just in Texas alone in 2023, where women and girls had to carry their rapist baby to term because there's no exception for rape in any of these laws. I don't care what they're saying. They say that they're considering it, but when they go to vote, magically the bill doesn't have it in there. And they want a national fucking version of this. It's in the Project 2025 plan. They're not going to all of a sudden nationally, if they took over nationally, they're all of a sudden going to change their behavior because you're enabling them. Because they pinky swore. Don't be dumbasses. We're up against our first break, and we'll have some more Two Queers in a Truck right after this. Hey, everybody. You can catch us on your favorite audio podcast platform, Spotify, and all Apple Store, the Google machine, and whoever else does podcasts. We're on there. We broke in, and we're staying. So enjoy the Two Queers in a Truck on your favorite audio podcast platform. Thanks for listening or watching. Bye. Hey y'all, thanks for watching Coffee and Pandosi, but I wanted to talk about something personal. I have started a company with a business partner of mine called Java Notes Records. And we have an Instagram page, and in our biography, or as the cool kids call it, the bio, we have a link to our Indiegogo page. If you go onto our Instagram or our Facebook, we have a campaign going for Indiegogo, and it's helping us start this company that's going to help so many people between employment, charitable events, things of that nature. We're really doing this for our local community and really trying to help others and create a job for me too. But if you would go to our Instagram page for Java, like JAVA Notes Records, and I would appreciate the support. Thanks for listening.
All right.
Bye, y'all.
So Instagram and Facebook, Java Notes
Records.
Right? Got it. Java Notes Records. All right. Thank you.
And we are back. But I don't want to temper the joy of Harris, but boy, I want to light a fire under some of y'all. Just reach back, grab that head of yours, pull it out of your butt, and do the steps necessary. Voting's not hard. Republicans usually aren't the smartest people in the world, and they vote. They vote at higher percentages than Democrats do. I don't understand why. Liberals should want to vote. We don't get progress without voting. It starts with voting. It doesn't end with voting. It starts with voting. We got to put people in office to get progress. If you don't like paying for your student loans, vote blue. If you don't want to, because it affects judges that get nominated federally too. Like, it affects everything. It affects your daily life. For girls and boys, like it's time for the class to pay attention. Do your homework. Do your flipping homework, and realize this is affecting people's lives. It ended this woman's life. This 28-year-old woman, 28, a kid, only 7 years younger than me. Kidding. 35. I'm only 7, this 28-year-old woman with her life all ahead of her. And because a simple medical procedure is banned, she had to begin the dying process for doctors to be allowed to intercede, or they go to prison. Brian Kemp, the governor of that state, should be charged for murder. Every Republican that voted for that in the state legislature should be charged with murder. There should be a class action lawsuit. Sue the Republican Party out of existence and keep suing them and suing them and suing them, and pursue this in the courts and scream from the mountaintops this is wrong, because that's wrong. This woman should be here. She should be able to should have been able to raise her child that was alive, and she should have died of old age. She shouldn't have been unalive because of a simple medical procedure. It couldn't be done. Period. End of story. Just like whether you're having a heart attack or whether you're having an aneurysm, whatever the fuck Republicans think abortion is, they're fucking stupid. We saw that in COVID. They didn't even want to wear a mask during an airborne thing. Like, why are we listening to Republicans and politicians and lawyers over something that is medical? The brain doctor. We need to listen to the brain doctors, not the brain dead. Okay, let's not put the dumbest people in the room, which are Republicans, especially people from Georgia. MTGs from Georgia, y'all.
Yeah.
Let's look at the level of intelligence and they're not sending the best and brightest to Washington either. Mm-hmm. Think about Jewish space lasers. Think about all the conspiracy theories that wine drunk, probably pill popping, cray woman spews. But that's Georgia Republicans right there. That's their shining star. And you want her to decide your life and make decisions and medical decisions for you? Are y'all smoking crack in Georgia? Like, what is going on? Why would you, even as a Republican, I don't care. My family all votes Republican up until now. In the last cycle, they didn't. You know why? Because they got some horse sense. They got some common sense. My daddy voted Democrat for the first time in his entire fucking life, and he's 81 years old. Y'all, if my old, broken down, wounded warrior daddy can vote for a Democrat for Joe Biden in 2020. As stubborn and as hard headed as he is, he voted for a Democrat because it was the right fucking thing to do. That's real patriotism, y'all. Because he has the common sense. He also got vaccinated too, by the way. He didn't let the idiotic mouth breathers talk him into doing something stupid and risk his life. We shouldn't be risking other people's lives because of their frail religious beliefs that are just basically opinions. A religious belief is just an opinion. It's a strongly held opinion. But it's an opinion you need to keep to yourself. But we need to, how you do that, you make sure you vote for sane people. You vote for sane people, rational adults like Harrison Walls, and any Democrat that's running in your area that's actually the party of sanity. You can't tell me MTG or Lauren Boebert's sane. Look at them. They look like they're halfway from sitting in a corner and drooling. I don't know if they're insane or stupid. You pick. Like, y'all pick what y'all want to call them, but why would you vote for people like that? I mean, I'm being half funny but half serious. Like, who in the world would want to put that in office of any version? And the Republican Party right now is full of these type of fools. I mean, they're buffoons. You're actually voting for the clown car. You might as well be going dun 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 dun. When you're voting for a Republican, you're voting for the full circus. Mm-hmm. There's a saying said, "Not my circus, not my monkeys." In 2024, that should be the saying of the Democrat Party. Not my circus, not my monkeys. Vote for sanity. Vote for Harris Waltz and every Democrat from top to the bottom. Great story coming out of Ohio. The woman who started the Haitians are eating cats and dogs rumor is now worried for her daughter's safety.
I saw that.
She says, "I'm not a racist," which, by the way, folks, especially the few conservative racists that listen to the show, I don't know how many do, but I'm sure they're a glutton for punishment. But if you're a fucking racist and you do racist shit, you're a racist. Just like the old, "Here's your sign."
Mm-hmm. You
might be a redneck if, like all the comedy stuff. If you have to say you're not a racist, you have to
exactly. If the Senate starts with, "I'm not a racist," but
Christian and Jenny are my friends, and I like them hard-working Mexicans. I let them cut on, But first of all, folks, never ever say I've got a Mexican friend or a black friend. Just stop. Just stop.
Yeah.
Yes. First of all, they probably don't know you're their friend. If you have to remind people that you have black friends, you're probably a racist. If you're probably a crazy old bigot, just like this woman in Ohio. And I don't want anybody's daughter to be endangered, but it's about time that these people have effects of their life. Because this jackass behavior without consequences is what got us into this mess. It's enabling and it's worse. And Americans are really bad about enabler culture. Oh, boys will be boys. No, boys will not be boys. You don't just let them assault girls and blame it on the clothing. It's not the clothing's fault. And it's not what she wore. Nobody deserves to be assaulted. Nobody has it coming. A woman should be able to walk down the street naked and not get assaulted. If your son does not have the discipline to keep his hands to himself, like they teach him in category, keep your hands and all foreign objects to yourself. They teach this with you when you're fucking 5. Y'all, behave yourself. Quit being racist. Or I'm going to turn this car around. I'm going to take y'all back home. We're not going to have any fun of any kind. We're going to turn this car around in 2024. I'm going to take you back where you came from. I'm going to whoop some of y'all because, look, don't say that a certain specific ethnicity is eating cats and dogs. That should be baseline common sense.
Don't start the rumor and then say, "Oh no, I'm afraid because
you're being a victim."
The actions that I took,
yeah,
coming back to hold me responsible.
Yeah, don't be a bitch and cry about it. Don't come crying to Aunt Jenny and get your fees hurt when the psychopaths come after you too, because they're psychopaths of all kinds, all flavors.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, when it's the old fuck around to find out.
Yeah.
And conservatives and Republicans don't like the find out part. Boy, they play the victim. They're really dicks. Mm-hmm. They're really being a dick, trying to play the victims. Yeah, they're trying to pretend, like you see them backpedaling about this rumor. Mm-hmm. Jenny-Jaymes keeps doubling down on Sophia Loren. She keeps just doubling down on this whole thing. Well, we heard. I'm like, no, you didn't hear that. It wasn't true. It was never verified. The city of Springfield said over and over again, it's not true, to try to hold down. By the way, all the Springfield schools are out of school this week because of bomb threats. And it's not just the Haitian kids that were affected, the white kids, the Republican kids, the Democrat kids, the black kids, every ethnicity and racial makeup of all Springfield, Ohio. Every fucking kid from pre-K to high school is out and doing remote learning because of bomb threats in Springfield, Ohio schools. Congratulations, bigots. You just sent the kids on a fucking week-long holiday because of constant bomb threats. Because of a jackass rumor that we all knew immediately when it was said, including the moderator said there is no truth to it. We checked this out with the city manager of Springfield, but you fucksticks kept on spreading the rumor. Guess who's paying the price? The kids. The innocents, the bystanders. And by the way, those Haitians are here legally. They got asylum. These are not undocumented aliens. They got asylum because of what is going on in Haiti the last decades. They're here under federal law. They're a protected class, dum-dums. Just so you know, just because they're people of color don't mean they're here undocumented dummies. Again, going back to your racism and your bigotry, geniuses. By the way, we're up against our second break. We'll be back with some more Two Queers in a Truck.
Hey, everyone. Thank you so much for watching us on Two Queers in a Truck. Don't forget, you can watch us anytime at your leisure on our video podcast platforms like Facebook and YouTube. But you can also listen to us, either this show or any of our past shows, on our audio podcast platforms like Apple, Amazon, Google, Spotify, and all of the other ones. So once again, thank you for watching Two Queers in a Truck. I hope you enjoy our show.
Hey, thanks for watching Two Queers in a Truck. And Christian and I just blathering on about craziness in the world today. Y'all be safe out there. There is a lot of Republicans on the road.
That's right.
Have a good week out there.
Bye.
But this affects LGBT people too, because we get judged by our appearances, whether we're a feminine gay man, whether we're a trans woman, and it's real obviously we're queer. I get affected. I get judged by my appearance, my voice, my mannerisms all the time. I get microaggressions and macroaggressions. You'd be amazed what my DMs catch in my social media filters of just the horrific stuff that gets said to me, which I also realize, people saying it are dumber than a sack of hammers, and I don't take it personally. I actually laugh about it. I know that I know when these jackasses are saying stuff. Every once in a while, they say something that's kind of funny. But I also know they live a very sad life. When you've got to push people down to make yourself feel better or make your candidate better, you got a shit candidate. You got a shit life. I lived my best life. I'm openly queer. I live a big gay life in Charlotte, North Carolina, and nothing's going to change that. So you can get your panties in a wad. You can make up stories about dogs and cats and whatever the fuck you want to say. But just realize the consequences may come back. It may blow back on you, genius. But either way, as upset as you get about my existence and Christian's existence, I don't know. We're living pretty good lives. I just celebrated my birthday, had a great time with some people. Christian's living his best life at an undisclosed location. Our lives go on. Our lives go on. You big dummies. But it's just very painful to see you guys really worry about shit that's none of your business. Man, I would hate to be as stupid as y'all. For the ones that do that, for y'all that have sense and are progressives, don't worry about what I just said. But anyway, a bunch of queer performers and actors at the recent Emmy Awards won Emmys the other night. And there's several queer actors, directors, and creatives that would snag really big wins. And it's kind of cool, like Eugene and Dan Levy hosted the award show. But Dan Levy's, known bisexual, man. He's an out of closet bisexual man. And his character on Schitt's Creek is kind of a biographical character because that's who he is, and has a bisexual history, and is a very adorable actor, a very talented actor. His dad, of course, is a comedy legend that goes all the way back to SCTV in Canada, and just a wonderfully talented, sweet family that just has brought a lot of joy to a lot of people's lives. But there's RuPaul got several nominations and awards. The Traitors, which is hosted by Alan Cummings, that's not in the closet Scottish gay man, which is just a wonderful show. I actually watched The Traitors. They've already finished filming for season 3, which will unveil sometime in early 2025. And it's just, you can watch the season 1 and season 2 on the Peacock streaming servers, but it's got intrigue. It has reality stars mostly, and it's set in a Scottish castle, and there's the traitors and the faithfuls, but you don't know who's who. So it's kind of like the game Clue, but in real life. And the object is they do some different challenges, and they have these little round tables, and then every night somebody gets voted out of the game or kicked out of the game by the traitors in secret meeting where they murder them. And then they get sent home. They get a little letter put in their room, and they all live in this castle. So it's mostly reality TV stars from different networks, athletes. It's really a cute show, and it's the good thing is it's mindless fun. It's one of my distractions. I love reality TV. I love trash TV. It's a distraction from reality, truthfully. But there were so many more people. A gay songwriter named Benji Pasek won several Emmys for musical scores for some TV shows. But I love the visibility, and I love the queer accomplishments, and I love to see it. And I didn't want to talk about all negativity today, and I think it's really cool to see public acknowledgement of so many out of the closet performers at the Emmy Awards and how they highlighted them and how many queer people they had speak at there, and unabashed support of the community. And this is Two Queers in a Truck. We should talk about queers every once in a while. I don't always want to talk about Republicans because I don't know. They're just, I wouldn't talk about them enough to create awareness, but also realize they're fucking stupid. I mean, you think about who would actually believe the dog and cat rumor? Just soak that in for a second. That Haitians are eating dog and cats. People here that are working in this country, paying taxes. By the way, did you know undocumented and documented residents of the United States, including non-citizens, still paying the Social Security that they're never going to draw? Mm-hmm. Every dime they put in the Social Security, they'll never see until they become a citizen.
And actually, they help, you know what, sorry to interrupt you, Jenny. States that don't have income taxes, like Florida, Texas, Nevada, they help them more than they do allegedly blue states because they don't pay, they don't benefit from the actual income tax. And as a result of that, they don't, first of all, they don't pay income taxes in those states, but they pay a lot of sales taxes.
Yep.
So they're actually helping people in those states disproportionately more than they would help, let's say, you and I, because we live in North Carolina.
Yeah. So migrant workers in San Antonio help one of the reasons San Antonio is such a dynamic economy is that on the south side and south central side of San Antonio, the city goes from being about a city of about 1.2 million to about 1.5 million. Because there's tons of farmland south of San Antonio, huge strawberry fields near Poteet, Texas, citrus, cotton. It's like a cradle of life, kind of like the vegetable growing valley in California. Very fertile land as it slopes towards the coast of the Gulf Coast. About 300,000 undocumented migrant workers show up, work the season, then go back home. Been this way probably for centuries. Truthfully, it's been that way for longer than Texas was actually part of the United States, or when it was Spain and then Mexico after that. It's just something that they they didn't have to come across the border because at the time they were all the Texas part of the country.
Yeah, there was no border.
Yeah, there was no border. You know, the border was way further north, east, and west at that time. But it's just the flow of migrant workers. Migrant workers exist everywhere on this planet, by the way. It's not exclusively to the United States, but especially a lot of wealthy countries will get a lot of migrant workers if they do have agriculture. It's super common, and not all migrants that come here want to stay here. This isn't their home, and a lot of them make the money, but also generate it. It's a cash cow for San Antonio. They go and buy stuff at Walmart and Aldi's, and they participate in local things. When their family comes to town, they put them up in hotels. They spend money, believe it or not. Migrants and people that come across to spend money in the shopping centers, the wealthy Mexican nationals that come from Monterrey and the border territories, the border states of Mexico. Believe it or not, there's a lot of wealth in Mexico. And let me tell you, around Christmas time, but especially during Easter, during the holy season.
Yeah, they all come in,
As somebody that's lived there for so much, you will see big old SUVs with Mexican plates, license plates, going to the outlet malls and buying shit and going to all of our stores and spending money.
Yeah.
Money. This is why you don't close the border, dummies. That South Texas and Texas in general, if we were to absolutely close the border, which is what Republicans want to do, it would bankrupt Texas.
Yeah, it would.
It would literally cripple Texas. If it wasn't for immigration, whether it's from Dubai, whether the investment is coming from a foreign country, whether it is international trade drives Texas' economic engine.
Yeah.
If you've ever been to Houston, it's one of the most diverse cities on the planet. There is people that do business, and there's business owners from 120 different countries that do business in Houston. It's one of the most international cities on the planet, you big dummies. If we shut down the airports for foreign travel and trade, I know y'all think the fentanyl problem isn't because of border crossings. It's Americans that are hooked on opioids that cause the fentanyl program. It's a demand issue, my friends, not a supply issue, because we can get fentanyl here illegally. You can go to your pharmacist and get fentanyl.
In many extents, the immigration issue is also a supply issue. If Republicans and both Republicans and Democrats, if American companies were not in need of workers, they would not be coming here because they couldn't afford to live unless they had a job. And so if truly we want to stop immigration, which we shouldn't, then we need to go after the John, so to speak, the person who's actually hiring the person.
The demand.
And exactly.
The demand, no. Don't be mad at the supply. Be mad at the demand. It's like the old saying, don't hate the player, hate the game.
Exactly.
Pull that curtain back like the Wizard of Oz did, and reveal it's a short little man pulling little levers, and realize it's the demand. Like the old saying during the Clinton run in '92, is the economy stupid? It's the demand stupid with anything. Sex work, drugs, rock and roll, whatever. It's the demand. Y'all, unless you're going to go pick your oranges yourself in the Rio Grande Valley.
Exactly.
Yeah, no, I don't see no white kid putting down a controller to a video game to go pick one.
Yeah.
Just not going to happen. But an immigrant, a migrant will. And then they go home. Kids pour into the South San schools as their parents work. When they're done, they go back home.
Yeah.
And the city changes. It fluxes like an accordion, like Trump's accordion hands, except hands aren't little like his.
Yeah.
But anyway, that is all we have for Two Queers in a Truck this week. We ran over a little bit because we had too much funny. But we're going to dance on out. Bye, boo. See y'all next week.
Bye, boo.
Listening.
Bye, y'all.
Bye, y'all.
Go.
Thank y'all for watching and listening every week. And once again, I'm going to remind y'all, especially this being my birthday month, if you want to get me a present, I don't need any gifts except for making sure that y'all register to vote. If you think you're registered, go ahead and verify with the BOE. You can do that online and any of your Board of Elections websites. And most of all, in October and November, go vote. Look up your early voting period and go when there's no lines like I do. I go down there. It takes me 5 minutes to go from start to finish. It's not as hard as you think. They'll walk you through it. It's usually some little old lady that is just so excited to see you. It's almost like a party. But please register, then vote. Bye, y'all. See y'all next week.
Bye, y'all. Bye, boo.
Bye, boo.